Hi, and welcome to Candid Discussions with Dion and Michelle.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dion.
And I'm Michelle.
Welcome this evening. We are so excited to be back. It feels like a long break.
I
Excuse
know.
me. It's been 2 weeks, so we're back on. And it's been a pretty long week,
Yeah.
right, Shell?
Yes.
So tonight we're just going to be having some live chat, a little bit about this and that. And then we want to talk about the up and coming guests we'll have on for next week,
Yes.
which will be Monica Cota and Valerie Crump. They're going to be talking about healing and forgiveness,
Yes.
right? Okay,
Yes.
and so tonight we're going to talk a little bit about that because the holidays are approaching.
Hmm.
Besides all of the fixings for the holiday, the first holiday, which is Thanksgiving, the turkey and the dressing and the
Yeah.
potato salad and the yams and the, oh my goodness, the cornichons and the sweet potato pie. Besides all of that, the most important thing is just being able to connect with our loved ones,
Yeah.
um, to be able to show love. For some families, it's going to be they'll probably have people in their presence that they haven't been around in a while, and sometimes it's a reason for that. So we just want to touch on that a little bit. um and the reason for that is because of the upcoming subject for next week. So we know a lot of times, when people do things to offend us, even if
Yeah.
it is family, it's hard to forgive and forget. Yeah, so we want to be able to kind of put those things behind us, especially with this pandemic that we're still in. We're slowly coming out of it.
Yes.
Um, but I think for a lot of people, it has taught them how to appreciate family and how to not take for granted some of the things that we've taken for granted before. Right, Shell?
I agree.
Mhm.
100%. I'm getting some feedback, Marjorie. Um, but yes, I totally agree. 100% D. Sometimes the holidays, everyone gets really excited and they're ready to get together and celebrate. And then sometimes before the day is even over, people are disagreeing, or something just scratches the surface of something that was unresolved, and then
Right,
people are ready to go, or they're like, that's why I'm not coming back next year. But then they try again without
right.
ever resolving the differences between each other. And so it's there again on the next holiday.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
you know what? There's more to life than that, though. We can really get to the
Mm.
bottom of issues, and that's through forgiveness. And with
Right.
forgiveness, it brings healing. Sometimes people are like, "I'll forgive you, but I'm not going to forget." I'm not going to forget what you did
Well,
because I need to guard my heart.
yeah.
But the problem with that is
Right, right.
usually when we have that emotion that high of saying, I'm not going to forget what you did, it's hard to forgive because every time you see that person, you're going to remember the wrong that they did, or maybe
Well,
both people could have been wrong.
yeah, and you know what, Shell, that a lot of that comes from, like, when you mentioned just a few minutes ago, um, something happens, and
Yes.
then we end up saying, that's why I don't come around, or that's
Yeah.
why I shouldn't have come. But then we end up coming back. And the one
Yeah.
thing that makes us come back is love.
Yeah.
You just have this special kind of love for people that you truly genuinely love,
Yeah.
and you don't want to give up that easy.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not easy to give up on them,
Yeah.
because the truth about it is nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. We've all
True.
done something at one point in our lives to offend
Yeah.
somebody. Somebody got angry with us for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and a lot of times, there are things. that people they have feelings that we don't have any idea about, and then it never gets talked
True.
about.
Sometimes that's true.
Yeah, it never gets talked about.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
so,
I agree with
and
that
I think
100%.
and I think with those unresolved issues, it's like, like with the holidays and special events, family gatherings, you kind of don't want to bring that out during that time. So it's that's what gets it swept up under the rug, because you come
Exactly.
together and you're having this fabulous time, and this other elephant in the room is not being talked about, you know.
Yes,
And so I
I agree
think
with you.
yeah, I think one of the most important things is that if you have an alt with someone, um, and it's an issue that needs to be resolved, and this family gathering is coming up. Sometimes we have to be mature enough to have that conversation prior to that,
Ahead of time.
ahead of time.
Yeah. Sometimes it could be that people really think that they've gotten over it, or they feel like, it's going to be okay. I'm not even letting that bother me anymore. That's water under the
Yeah,
bridge, right? It's in the
right.
past. And then
Yeah,
when everybody's together, that little scab that we put on there to protect our hearts gets scraped off. And then that's when you're like, oh, it was never healed anyway. It was just
right.
the cover up so that we could just
Mhm.
all get along, you know.
Right.
So, but I was thinking these two guests that are coming up, I had several opportunities. I know them personally, several opportunities to hear them teach, and and they teach a lot about brokenness and about having healthy emotions, and how to deal with it when people disappoint us. Sometimes we just don't
Yeah.
know how. We're so entangled emotionally that we can't even see past wanting to even get through stuff. Sometimes it's a natural thing to say, I'm just not going to deal with that person. You know what? Not even just in our family. It could be in the workplace. It could be, at the grocery store. I'm never going to that teller because that teller is so rude, at the bank. But the thing about it is, it's all interpersonal skills.
Yeah.
And, some people, they're just
Yeah.
not get it, and we
Yeah.
have to realize that. But for the most part, I think people really want to do the right thing and they want to be kind.
They do. They do. And then there's that part of them that's nudging at them, saying, you have one part of you saying, go ahead, do the right thing, get this issue resolved, because you love this person.
Yeah.
And then you have another part of you saying, no, you already vowed that you would never talk to this person. What's done is done. I will never forgive you
Mhm.
for what you did. So it's just
It's
a
not.
very complicated thing. And
It's
sometimes you
very
have to just
complicated.
decide to just, yeah, it's very complicated. Sometimes you have to just decide to just, what, let me just do it, because it's a part of growth. If you
Yeah.
want to grow, then this is something that that's a part that you have to do.
Yeah, that's true
That's
too.
not, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Another thing that comes up during the holidays is grief.
yeah.
Grieving the loss of loved ones, people that have
Mhm.
passed away, and then the holidays bring that up too. And there's just different emotions that people go through in life, period. But
Yeah.
somehow during the holiday season, that's when there's this romantic ideal that everything's going to be perfect for the holidays.
Mhm.
No matter what, I'm going to see my family. We're going to be together. We're going to have a grand time for Christmas or for Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
and mom's gonna make this, dad's gonna make that, or whatever it is.
Mhm.
We all come together as a family, and then all those unspoken things. I know a few people that have lost loved ones, and this is gonna be
Yeah.
a very challenging season for them.
Oh, it is. It's going to be very, and I can say the same thing too. Uh, there's been a lot of people that I've been connected to that have lost people,
Yes,
near and dear to them. And
yes,
I stood by and watched, and I just, it just tears my heart apart to watch them,
Mm,
grieve. Um,
good.
and so it is. It's going to be a very emotional holiday season this year.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
we
I'm
have a
just my
double,
mind is
D.
just, huh?
We have a double because we're dealing with in our industry, we're dealing with older adults that have lost people, and then they're we go, our work is like their home,
Mhm.
and they're dealing with grief during the holidays. I know there's a class I usually teach during the holiday season called Grief in the Holidays,
Mhm.
because people, it's not all perfect, it's not all gravy. There's some challenges that people are experiencing in life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think it's a good topic. Some things that we could talk about, and there's never a resolution. But when I think about forgiveness, when I think about brokenness, healing, that kind of thing, those are
Mhm.
things that can be dealt with.
That can be
It's just
dealt with.
that the average human isn't equipped to do it.
Right.
It takes something bigger than us to bring about that healing.
Yeah.
And when I say
And
that,
that's something
it
that's,
means that healing comes through God.
yeah. And but you have to be willing to surrender,
Yes.
yourself to
Yeah.
him, and that's just period, because that's the only way that you can have a heart like that. you
Yes, that's
know
true, D.
it takes true love,
It's
real
true.
love,
Yeah.
genuine love.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
my question is, because I know some things come up a lot in blended families. So, um, that's a complicated topic, also blended families. But when somebody has done something to offend another on the other side, in the blended families, how do you I guess what I'm trying to say is, how do you let go of it?
Yeah.
How do you get past it if you have one side that's not willing to talk about it, you know? But and
Yeah.
then, I don't know. That's a touchy subject.
I agree.
Mhm.
You know, it goes back to just dealing with humanity. And
Mhm.
I have a situation like that right now because I have my niece and my nephew here. We are a
Mhm.
blended family now, and the
Mhm.
holidays are
Mhm.
going to be tough for them, and even for their family. And
Right.
so I'm kind of thinking what I'm doing right now is as we're planning for the holidays, I'm thinking I want to surround them with all different parts of our family.
Yeah.
I want them to have a good time, but I also know that there'll be a time where I have to acknowledge they're not with their main family unit, and I don't want to ignore
Mhm.
that like it's not happening. I want to be
Mhm.
able to discuss it with them and let them say, "How do Auntie? This is how I feel about that."
Right.
Because hey, people feel
Mhm.
ways, and we can't put a mask on it and disguise it. So I think instead of making it the elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about, I think I'm going to bring it up at some point and say, hey, I'm sorry that it can't be exactly how you want it this year. We're going to
Mhm.
take what we have, and we're going to make the most of this opportunity together. I love you. And
Mhm.
even the family that you're not with, they love you so much. And if they could be here, they would be here. Just being
Yeah.
honest and transparent with them. And I think that goes a long way.
It's
We're
important,
there, yeah,
it's important, especially at their age, to
yes,
encourage talk about their feelings, especially when it comes to family, because you want them to have those values instilled in them, as they continue to grow and experience things.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, D, that's a good point. I really believe, I know I'm probably going to step out on the water right here.
You hear that
I'm
echo?
getting a lot of feedback. Can you hear the feedback?
Yeah, me too.
It's okay though.
Yeah.
Okay. So I feel that, you know, how can I say this? Um, in certain cultures,
Mhm.
there's this mentality that says that kids, they're there, to be seen, not to be heard, and not to challenge authority, not to challenge the parents or the auntie, the uncle, the grandma, grandpa. Don't challenge, just be polite. Don't if you have
Mhm.
feelings about something, we're not asking you about your feelings.
Mhm.
You need to
Mhm.
behave.
Mhm.
Don't be smart mouth. And and so I think that we learn early on to just stuff those feelings. And so when you become an adult, now it's like it's you're just throwing up all over the place with your feelings. You're all
Yeah.
over the
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
But if we teach children while they're young how to deal with their emotions, so they can be
Yeah.
emotionally healthy.
Equip.
You and
Yes.
I are talking about studying emotional intelligence. Well, that's why we're
Yeah.
doing it, because everybody
Yeah.
doesn't have the same level of emotional maturity or
They
emotional
don't.
health, because
Yeah.
we just don't start early on. And I don't think that it's
Mhm.
relegated to only certain cultures. Now that I think about it, it's across the board. It's just it's emotions. It's rare to find that there were people. Now I think nowadays you probably find it more, where people are more in touch with their kids' emotions and how are they feeling.
Yeah.
Me, I'm a big talker now, so whatever my kids want to talk about, I talk to them about it. I let them talk to me,
Yeah. Yeah.
and even if it's
And
something,
you,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, over time you just and with some people over time is something that you learn
Yeah,
through your experiences,
yes,
things that you experience out in the world, even if you don't learn
yeah,
it in the home. It's just unfortunate that when you have to learn it that way, it probably doesn't come until later on in life. Sometimes you're already an adult before you learn how to express your feelings, you know,
yeah,
in a way that
yes,
they can truly be understood.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
you know what, Dee? Sometimes you end up married even before you learn how to deal with your own emotions. And so you're dealing with that
Yeah.
person's broken emotions and your broken
And your
emotions,
own.
and you're blending all that
Yeah.
brokenness together, trying to be
Yeah.
healthy.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you're trying to fix somebody, you're trying to fix your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your spouse, and you yourselves, are in need of healing yourselves. And it gets complicated, but I think that
Very complicated.
it does get complicated, and I think that
Yeah.
it's something that should be taught early on. But hey, some of us had that, and some of us didn't. But we all get the opportunity to tune in with Monica and Valerie, and
I'm
they're going to
excited
speak
about that.
about the emotional health side of things.
I'm excited about that.
I really am
Yeah.
too, because there's so
Yeah.
much brokenness out there.
Yeah, it
I mean,
is.
people are like, they're walking around like open sores, and you
Mhm.
bump against them and they easily bleed. Not
Yeah.
because you were trying to do anything wrong, but they're just so discombobulated, so
Yeah.
bitter, and
So
so
bitter. Yeah.
angry and
Yeah.
unhappy. But you know what? Good things come out of brokenness too. It
Yeah.
just depends on how you approach and how you let it unfold in your lives. So I'm excited about
Exactly.
that. I really am. Like, I feel like the things that we do here on Candid Discussions, what we're trying to do is we're trying to create opportunities for personal growth. We
Right.
laugh, me and I may laugh while we're talking and all that,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
when you are hearing what we're talking about here, it's just a byproduct of what we've been talking about amongst ourselves, and we
Right.
have very serious discussions.
We
I
do.
think I think our offices are like our den, like a lion's den, where we come
Yeah.
together, and
Mhm.
then we're just we're just so raw and so open. Like, I don't know, we've
Mhm.
formed this bond where we can be honest about how we're feeling, whether
Right.
it's at work, whether it's at home, whether it's something
Right.
we're doing in the community.
Right.
And everybody needs that, but everybody doesn't. I
Right.
don't even know how. It was just God that we're able to form this connection with each other.
Right.
All centered right there
Perfect.
at work.
And it's funny you should say that our when you was talking about our offices, how we have these conversations and we're so open and honest with each other. I was just thinking one day, like I'm always, it seems like I'm always talking to somebody,
Yeah,
along the lines of that. I'm always giving advice, or somebody's always coming to
yeah,
me for,
yeah,
just to have a conversation, just
yeah,
to let some
yeah,
steam off. So I'm
yeah.
like, well, maybe I should put a couch in my office,
Ah,
and you
that's
should
good.
have one
That's
of
good.
yours too for me. But I mean,
Mm,
that's a
it's
good
good.
thing.
It
I think
is.
when friendships are formed like that, it's
Yeah,
very therapeutic.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
hard to find people that you can open up to,
Yeah.
and it's safe.
It's safe. Yeah.
They're not going to judge you. They're not
Yeah.
going to use your words and turn around and talk
Hmm.
about you behind your back. And
Right.
it's hard to
Hmm.
find that, and that's why people guard their hearts and they don't want to talk.
Yeah.
Even the Bible says, guard your heart above all things,
Hmm.
because out of it flows the issues of life.
Yeah.
And my daughter came to me and she said, "Please explain that scripture to me. What does that
Hmm.
mean? How do I do that?" And
Hmm.
I was thinking that that's a hard thing to do. When you're
That's a hard
thinking
thing
just
to
from a
do.
natural point, it's hard, but you learn it as you're going. There's the
Right.
only instructional manual that we have on that is really the scripture that
Hmm.
teaches us through different phases of our daily walk, how to keep ourselves, how to keep our minds, our thought
Hmm.
life. You know,
Right.
these things are big topics, but it's just like having a machine. If you never
Hmm.
look at the operator's manual, you'll never know how to make it work. And that's
Right.
how our lives are. We have this
Right.
wonderful manual that teaches us how to do this thing called life, you know, and I don't know, I really take it serious. I take it to heart because we live in some tough times.
We
We
do.
don't know what to do with all the images, all the pressures, all the things that we face outside of that instruction manual.
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't know another way, D.
I don't
It's the only way
either.
that I really know how to deal with life, and there's a lot of challenges that I face, even that you face.
And this is why that's why it's my hope that a lot of people will, be tuning in. The longer the show goes along the way, with Candid Discussions, I really, that's what my hope is, because there's some good things that's going to come out of it.
Yeah,
Um, that's just the kind of energy we're trying to put out there.
that's right.
That's what the goal is.
That's right. It's really
So,
good. I hear
yeah.
people tuning in and they're like, "Oh, when you said that or when you said this, I thought of this." People are relating
Mhm.
already.
Mhm.
I hear people
Mhm.
relating. So
Yeah.
that's really good. I
Yeah.
see someone, Latanya, is
Mhm.
saying she didn't get the notification reminder.
Yeah. Because
So,
normally I send her a reminder, but I announced it on Facebook. So, yeah.
okay. Well, welcome, Latanya. Wasn't she trying to give
Welcome.
me a hard time about being late?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now,
Mhm.
Latanya, you're late.
Hi, Thomas. We see you.
Hi, Thomas.
Mhm. So yeah, what are your plans for the holiday, Michelle? For
Well,
Thanksgiving?
I have, I plan to have dinner here, like lunch dinner with with one of my sons, and then I plan, his family. Then I plan on going to San Jose to be with my family, and
Oh, okay.
my mom and dad are getting older now, and so we
Yeah.
want to make the most of whatever time we have with them. I don't know, because people, with the advances in medicine, people can live a long, long time.
Mm,
So you
yeah.
never know how young or how old a person will be.
You
but
never know.
I just want to spend the time, make the most of
Mhm.
whatever opportunities. Let my children be with them and develop more
Yeah.
memories. And so that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be very taxing to cook dinner here. And then I think I'll just make a lot and then take them
Yeah.
there, you know,
Oh, that would be nice.
for the
That
holidays.
would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
How
I
about
think
you?
that's we'll just be here with the kids and the grandkids.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I love
I have my
spending time with
grandson
them.
here tonight.
Oh,
My Lennox is
Lennox.
there.
Lennox, your Lennox, yeah.
Yes,
Such an
that's my
articulate young
joy.
man.
He
I
opened
haven't
the
even
door
spoke.
and
I
greeted me
haven't
with a kiss.
see. I haven't even met him, but just by looking at him and just from the things you tell me, I know he's very
Oh my God.
articulate.
Very articulate. Oh,
Yeah,
he's so mature for his age.
yeah.
You know,
It's
we're
so important for kids to spend time with their grandparents.
yes. I know. We should have a show on that. Charity's learning Korean, and
Oh
then
my goodness.
he was talking about the characters, and I said, "Are you learning Korean too?" He said, "No, Grandma, I'm learning Spanish." And I said, "Oh, are you fluent?" He said, "No, I'm at the beginning phases," and he starts, using his Spanish. I mean, and I just
Hmm.
thought, I just love it. It's so precious. It is.
Yeah,
That's my boy.
that is precious. How old is he?
Lennox, I think he turned 10 now. In February.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? In February, he'll be 10.
Hmm.
His birthday is February the 5th, and then Christian's is February the 14th, Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going
That's
to be
the
exciting.
Christian is he has the perfect birthday because he is just like just so perfect, like
Um,
so loving.
he's loving.
Mhm.
Oh, but you know
Mhm.
what? Let's talk about emotions
Oh.
because when we went to Oregon, I was since my husband didn't go, it was just Christian and myself, which was
Mhm.
nice to spend those days with him alone. But it came up where he was displaying an emotion based on something that I did. And I was thinking, okay, that's appropriate. I get it. And I was like, I apologize. It was a misunderstanding. And I cleared the air. But he was still like looking all sad. And I was thinking, what? I said, what's wrong with you? And he said, well, what you did really hurt my feelings. And I was like, oh, I said, oh, okay. I said, I'm really sorry about that. You know, I reassured him again. I'm really sorry about that. And then it's like 10 minutes later, and he's still looking really sad. And I said to him, and actually we were in church. So
Wow.
I looked at him and I said, what's wrong with you? And he said, I'm still really upset about that. I said, okay. I said, so here's the deal, because we're in church. I couldn't go into a long discussion, but I said, what you're doing now is turning into something that's not healthy for your emotion.
Mhm.
This is
Mhm.
not appropriate. And I said,
Yeah.
and if you don't knock it off, I'm gonna correct you right now. Right.
Oh.
I just kind of shut it down, right? But then this morning on my way out, he kind of did the
Mhm.
same thing. So I just slowed the whole morning down and I talked
Mhm.
to him about having healthy emotions and a
Mhm.
healthy response. I said, when someone offends you, if you don't quickly forgive, it's not good for you. It doesn't mean
Mhm.
that you have to allow the person to do whatever they've done to you. But if you hold it and it becomes a grudge,
Mhm.
then you're not dealing with an offense the way that the healthy way that God told us how to deal with when we're offended.
Right.
The Bible talks about reconciliation. So even
Mhm.
at 7, I'm already giving him these concepts. By the
Mhm.
time I got through talking to him, not I didn't rush it. I taught him different solid concepts. By the time I
Mhm.
got through, he said, Mommy, give me a hug, and he hugged me and kissed me and sent me off to work like that.
So
And
sweet.
it was beautiful. Like he got what it
Mhm.
means to forgive quickly and not
Yeah.
hold a grudge, because that's what we're talking about. If he
Yeah.
doesn't get a master on that, then he'll be an adult saying, oh, I'm not going over there again for Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? We have
Yeah.
to be able to
He'll be
forgive.
one of those ones.
We
Yeah.
have to
Mhm.
forgive.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
this is emotional health. And so even at 7, uh, these are concepts that our children can grasp.
And see, and you know what? I think the complicated part about forgiveness is, you want to make sure that it's okay to forgive and then decide not to ever still be in the presence of a specific person. But that
Yeah.
does not mean that, you're still holding a grudge. It's just that you don't want to open yourself up to that same kind of hurt again. I think it's
Mm.
like that for most people,
Yeah.
you
So
know.
let's talk about it then. So if it's an issue where there's safety, like there's physical abuse, sexual
Mhm.
abuse, something
Mhm.
like that,
Mhm.
domestic violence, things like
Mhm.
that,
Mhm.
I'm with, you have to be safe.
Yeah.
Right. But so we're going to set those things aside because we know there's things we need to do to protect ourselves. But I
Right.
mean, if it's something that's an offense because there's some unresolved family issues, and this particular cousin is just doesn't fit in, and I don't want to deal with that cousin no matter what because she
Mhm.
offended me or he offended me, and that's it.
Mhm.
I'll go over the, if I go, I'm not, they're gonna say nothing to me because I'm gonna say something, that kind of thing. This is what I'm
Exactly.
talking about.
Exactly. Yes.
But this is what I'm talking about. That's not biblical forgiveness.
No, it's not.
That's a forgiveness that the world that love is called filial. It's based on
Mhm.
your feelings,
Mhm. Mhm.
and really, we can't trust our feelings because
Right.
we think our feelings are so right, but we have to have
Right.
a measuring stick to measure that against so that we can know if we're really balanced. So,
Right.
like the person that says, I forgive them, but I'm not going to forget, and I just don't want to be around them. I'll challenge
Mhm.
that person.
Yeah.
Did, is that really forgiveness, or is that?
Yeah. Is it really forgiveness? Yeah.
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 So I think we have some responses. Oh, okay.
She said,
It's
"Yes,
like,
Queen Michelle."
it's like, you know, you got to have a measuring stick. If you're the only one that you're measuring it against, then that's not going to take you very far.
Yeah.
Because you're always going to think you're right.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
And they probably don't want to see you as much as you don't want to see them.
Okay, so then what you're saying is that true forgiveness is saying, "Hey, this is water under the bridge. I forgive you, and we're going to forget this, and we're going to put it behind us, and we're going to move forward."
I like that. But one thing I would add to that, D, is we need to talk about it.
Exactly.
I need you to know why that hurt me.
Why it hurt.
And I need
Yes.
to know where you were coming from.
Yeah.
So then maybe it wasn't really what I thought and it wasn't what you thought, but if we just sweep it under the rug, we'll never get to the root of it. So without getting to that, I would say there's no forgiveness. Our teachers might say something different next week or, you know, after next. But I'm
Well,
saying
we're here to learn.
in life
Yeah.
is when I when I sweep stuff under the rug and I just say I'm forgiving someone because I know I have to, because the Bible says that if you don't forgive people, how God's not going to forgive you.
Yeah.
Uh, that's so then you mean that you want me to learn how to forgive. I find that God never calls us to something that we cannot do with his grace.
Mhm.
So I feel that even though some things are hard, outside of keeping yourself safe, keeping your children safe, if it's just like a personality difference or something like that where it doesn't move over into an unsafe situation, I say
Mhm.
don't use the crutch of saying I'm just not going to see them anymore. I forgive them, but I never want to see them. That doesn't even
Yeah.
sound like forgiveness, huh?
Wow. It doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I
Because you're
forgive
still
you, but
holding
stay out of
on
my
to it.
face. You know.
Because you're holding on to it. So no, it's not
Still
it's
holding
not real
on.
forgiveness. Yeah.
So
So
it's
again,
quite
again,
interesting.
true forgiveness it stems from love. That real love, that love just has to be genuine. You have to love yourself enough, and you have to love others enough to know that, we, like I said earlier, we all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. We can get
Yeah,
past whatever,
yeah,
whatever it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, and D, guess what? Everybody's view of love is so different.
It's so different.
We think loving someone like it's really sick, but people have some twisted views of love. And then again, it goes back to what's your measuring stick for love. Love
Yeah.
is letting me have my way, doing what I want to do.
That's
Like
not
my
love.
kid, if I put them on punishment, it might feel like, oh, you don't love me right now. No, I do
Mhm.
love you. That's why I'm giving you some boundaries.
Right. Right.
Right? So what is love?
Mhm.
Hi, Christian. I'm on
There
say
he is. Hi, Christian.
okay, love you. So yeah, love has boundaries,
Yeah.
right? Uh, I feel like I know I keep saying this, Dee, but it's the only let's see. I've been trying to live my life by faith and by the word for 20 something years now. So you'll hear me often refer to this is my measuring stick. I don't know how else to measure it. This is
Mhm.
how I try to lay myself across the word of God to
Mhm.
find out where I am. It's the
Mhm.
thing that when I'm wrong, you can tell me I'm wrong as another human, but there's something about it when God is speaking to my heart saying, Michelle, if you don't get that right, I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
That's
I
true.
can't believe I did
That's
that.
true. Yeah.
So, so love, let's talk about that word love, like real love, because some people, some men think because they're beating up on their wife or their girlfriend, they're just showing them love, and that's not love.
Right. I
Love
just
is
love you
love
so
isn't
much.
hurt like
What?
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, because it depends on where people come from. D, there's all kind of
Yeah.
crazy stuff out there in the world because
Yeah.
people grab a hold of this philosophy, that thought. They've seen that on TV. They read that in a book. So, oh,
Mhm.
that must be love. But no,
Mhm.
that's
And that's what they hold on to.
that's what they hold on to. And then they expect people to live by that standard of their
Mhm.
version of love.
Of their version of love. Yeah.
Right. But there's
Yeah.
one real version of love. There's one love. And
Mhm.
that's the measuring, that's our yardstick that we
Mhm.
line ourselves up against to see where are we at. Help us get there. Help us to get to the
Yeah.
point. You know,
Yeah.
it's really something. But love is powerful.
Mhm.
Um, love can really change the world.
It can.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
can. God is love, Latanya is saying.
Yeah, I
I
was
agree
just
with
getting
you,
ready to say
Latanya.
that. Latanya just said God is love, and she said love is a verb. Love
It's
is
an
an action
action
word.
word.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was teaching this weekend and I said, what does love have to do with it? And the person who was on the platform with me said absolutely everything. And I said,
Mhm.
absolutely everything.
Everything.
Love has
Yeah.
everything to do with it. You
Yeah.
know, it's sad. Hey, that title of that comes from an old Tina Turner song. If you listen
Yeah.
to those words, that's
Mhm.
terrible. She was
Yeah.
so in the lyrics in that. I don't know if that was true of her real life, but the lyrics in that are so sad. Who needs
Yeah.
love? It's just a broken down emotion. No, that's not true.
She
God
said,
so
"Who
loved
needs
the
a heart?"
world.
She said, "Who needs a heart when a heart can be broken?"
Is okay, yeah. You
Yeah.
know, but that's not what
Yeah.
God tells us about love. But
Right.
if we don't
Mhm.
have the teaching and the instruction, then we'll hear songs like that to say, "Oh, that's right. That's how I am.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have a hard heart. Nobody's gonna hurt
Yeah.
me. I'm not gonna.
Mhm.
I might have been hurt before, but nobody will ever hurt me again." We
Mhm.
build up these walls
Mhm.
because we don't want to be hurt, and that's why this topic is so real. I mean,
Mhm.
imagine that people can just be open to another concept of healing and forgiveness, even when the forgiveness, even to forgive when you feel like you were the one that was offended and nobody asked you to forgive. No one
Mhm.
said, will you forgive me?
Yeah.
You'll find yourself saying, I'm going to forgive them because I know this is the healthy thing for me and for them.
Mhm.
I'll have to be an example.
Mhm.
It's hard to look at where we work.
Yeah.
We get those kind of challenges all the time.
All the time.
And at the end of the day, we have to stay true to who? We are.
Exactly.
Even if it's through frustration, tears, anger.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't cried in a long time. Not then.
Uh, it's so draining. But at the same time, sometimes it's good to cry because crying cleanses the soul. It really
It does.
does.
A big
Um,
cry is good.
and what'll be a good topic, I think too, is menopause, because
Wow,
we have
Dee.
we have so many and premenopause, because we have so many women out there that's having all these different emotions, and going through these mind trips, and it has a lot to do with that. It has a
Yeah.
lot to do with that.
Yes. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. I think
Mhm.
that's good. Well, and by the way, since you said that, Dr. Carter was so happy with the show that he wants to
Yay.
come back on. And we were talking about some of the questions
Mhm.
um, that people have about healthcare. And
Mhm.
he started rattling off all these tests that people need at what age. And I said, "Oh, I need to remember that for my husband. You know, men and women, there's different things." And so he's
Yeah.
all, "I'll come back. I'll come back and I'll talk about it all." So I was like,
Yeah.
"Yay!" So he was
That's
very
gonna
happy.
work. That's good to hear that he's excited about that.
Yes. Latanya said, "We'll be here for the talk on menopause." Yeah. Oh, I like that, Latanya. Physical, emotional, and mental health. That's
Yeah.
good. Oh, Latanya,
Mhm.
you can add a spiritual health to that.
Yes.
So it's good to be well rounded. That's good. Hi,
Mhm.
Frankie. It's good to see you
Hi,
there.
Frankie. Yeah, I saw her. I think Frankie was the one that said we'll be on here for hours talking about menopause.
Oh, did she say that? Oh,
Where did it go? I
that was
saw.
Latanya.
Oh, that. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
What? Who is Lion King?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Sister Belinda. She just corrected me. She said, no, that was Letitia that said that.
Oh,
So, yeah. Speaking of Belinda, my sister Belinda, I was just talking to her earlier, and my sister Letitia. I'm still putting together. I'm trying to put something together for the Chucks and Pearls
yes.
crew, for the Christmas holiday. So, Michelle, I want you to be a part of that. You and Fayette.
Oh, definitely. Oh,
Yeah.
I will be a part of that.
Yeah.
D. Okay. I'm sorry. I was reading the comment, trying to make sure it was appropriate. Marjorie, please monitor the comments in case we ever get something that needs to be removed. Because we're live and people can say anything. But right now we're good. I just had to double check. I don't understand it, but
Okay.
okay.
I don't get it either.
You don't get it either. You know what I'm looking at?
Yeah, I see what you're looking at.
I'm
Don't
like,
make me act up. Okay, let's be nice. I see it. So, but anyway, yeah, we're working on putting something
yes,
together. As a matter of fact, it's going to be the weekend of the 12th. Sunday the 12th is what I'm looking at.
December.
Yes.
Okay,
We
okay.
want to get together and do like a Christmas lunch outing or something.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, and do
I would
like
love
an
to do
elephant
that.
gift exchange. I just couldn't let the year end without doing something special with my crew, because with everything that we've done this year
Yeah.
in regards to Chucks and Pearls, they've been so diligent and excited about it. So I just couldn't let the year end
I
without,
would love to be a part of that, D.
yeah, without putting something
Definitely.
together for that.
Yeah. Yes, I'll invite a couple of people too. That'll be nice.
Yeah.
I look forward to that. We'll lock that date in, make sure that we're available.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. you oh, Belinda said your Latanya is called Midlife Crisis.
Uh,
So anyway, you know what? I'm so excited to talk about that, because sometimes I call my mom some things that I go through, and I'm like, Mama, I'm experiencing this and that. Is that a part of premenopause or menopause? And she say, yeah, yeah. So, uh, oh my gosh, I'm not a very emotional person. So when I get like over emotional, I can recognize what's going on,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
drives me crazy sometimes.
Yeah.
It does. It drives me crazy. So I would like for if we can get not only Dr. Carter, but if we can get maybe what's her name? Shell Valerie.
Oh, that would be nice.
The
Oh,
nurse
I would really
practitioner.
like that
Valerie is Valerie is the nurse practitioner.
for
So
Dr.
I think it
Carter.
would be nice. Yes, I think it would be nice for her to come on and talk about women's health. I
I
took a
think
women's health.
so.
Yeah, I took a women's health class a couple of years ago, and some of that stuff I was reading in the textbook about how stress can cause terminal illness. I think
Yes.
that scared the crap out of me. And it's like at that moment, I decided to not stress about anything, and sometimes that can look to other people like you just don't care about nothing. No, it's not that I don't care about nothing. It's just that I choose not to stress about it,
Yeah.
because stress is a silent killer. And sometimes we don't realize, the damage that it does to our bodies,
Yeah. That's true.
physically and mentally. And you
Yeah.
have to be very careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Bible says, don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything.
Pray. Yes, and
With
that's what I'm training
thanksgiving.
myself to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The Bible says if we do that, we'll get peace that surpasses all understanding.
and it's the
You
truth. I'm
know,
telling you,
yeah, it's healthy. It's a
it's
healthy way
very
to deal with
healthy.
things.
Yes.
Yeah. I think I like that topic though, because the changes that we go through as women it's
Mhm.
tremendous. And same thing with our husbands. I would like to hear about the men's health because they go through a different type of
They
I guess
do.
for them they
Mhm.
call it the change of life or something like that.
Mhm.
And
Midlife
we
crisis.
just help.
I thought it was
Yeah.
called
Midlife
midlife crisis.
crisis. Yes.
That's what it's called,
That's when they
midlife
want to get a
crisis.
new car, you know, trading in their
Well, you
old
know
car
what?
for a new sports
Listen,
model
it would be hard for me to tell with mines because that's what he loves cars.
all the ways
Okay, so
up.
he loves rebuilding cars and all that kind of
Mhm.
stuff. So I'm not gonna be able to tell when he going through a midlife crisis if he ever, go through a midlife crisis. Did you discuss
Um,
health
yes, we
topics?
do discuss health
Yeah,
topics here, Helen
yeah,
Schwartz. So what it is on our I think the last show we had a medical provider on, and that kind of opened the door for us to go in that direction. He was actually here talking about COVID, talking about vaccinations, talking about different things, but that opened the door for him to discuss the overall health concerns. And so we were getting a lot of feedback saying we would like to have this type of show again with a panel of medical providers so we could talk about some health issues. And so that's what we're doing now, brainstorming. But what you all can do is comment. If there's some particular health topics you want to discuss, please comment.
even
And
in the comment section.
either on our Facebook page or on YouTube, we monitor those comments. And we would love to address some of those special needs or special concerns that you have. Yes, we do. We're very much
Yeah.
into health and wholeness, wellness. So yeah, and welcome to the show, Helen.
Welcome, Helen. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for your comments. Yeah, as a matter of fact, Helen, you can also go back on the page, on Candid Discussions page, and watch the recordings. Any show that you may have missed, you can, and I would advise you, since you're asking that question about the health topics, to go back and watch the one that we just did with Dr. Carter a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, Helen, we have heard of C. diff, and it is very contagious.
Yes.
So if you or someone you know has C. diff, you need to practice standard precautions. You want to make
Hand
sure that the
washing.
person is isolated.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it's you, that you're isolated,
Mm-hmm.
that there's hand washing,
Mm-hmm.
and just keep the person or yourself isolated if it's in your home. If it's at work, then I'm sure they're going to tell you the precautions that you need to follow. But C. diff
Right.
is very contagious, very contagious.
Yeah, in our field of work, we see that a lot, Helen. And I know since the pandemic, I mean, the PPE has always been around, especially in hospitals and nursing homes. But since the pandemic, it's been like really profound. You know, they're really pushing the PPE. Make sure you're wearing the protective equipment. So that's a part of this protecting yourself from the C. diff too. Making sure you have all of the PPE, appropriate PPE that you need if you're caring for someone that has it.
Yes. So Dr. Carter is a general practitioner. So he will
Are you
okay. So
familiar?
Dr. Carter is a general practitioner and he's worked in the community for I think he said 40 years, right, Dee?
Yes.
And in that right, I don't know what all specialties he's worked in over those 40 years, but right now he's working in long-term care.
Yes.
So he's working with the geriatrics,
Hmm.
right?
Yes.
Um, I can't speak to the treatment. I don't want to give treatment advice for C. diff, but it's a very common a common infection that people get. So you should be able to Google it and find out some different treatments. But I know in our industry, the main thing we do is we focus on stopping the spread of it because we work with the elderly people, and
Yeah.
sometimes it comes up, and we take it very serious when we hear that.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
I don't know, Helen, if you or know someone that's been diagnosed with it, but if you haven't even been diagnosed, you know the smell of it. You'll never forget the
Yes.
smell of C. diff
Hmm.
in the stool. So I wish you well. I hope it's not you or a loved one, but if it is, we believe in healing virtue. So we pray all is well with you and your family.
Thank you, Helen.
So Latanya has a question. She said, okay, so he may be able to refer us to a therapist.
You
Um,
can do
um,
referrals, right,
yes,
Shell?
he does refer. He can tell you people in the
Yeah.
community. I'll tell
Hmm.
you one time my son, talk about C. diff, Helen. One time my son was really sick and there was fatty material in his stool. And so I took a picture of it and I showed Dr. Carter and he told me exactly what to do to get to the bottom of it. He didn't give me the medical advice, but he told me how to hold my healthcare practitioner accountable. So it was really good. And so, Latanya, that's your question. If you go to Dr. Carter with something, and he can point you in the right direction for resources.
So she's asking about PTSD, autism, mental health care.
Yeah, yeah, Dr. Carter can help you with that. Oh, and also we actually work with another group called I can't think of the name of it, but it's another panel of doctors, psychiatrists, and psychologists that come in and do work in our facility. We can also invite them on here too. So I
Hmm.
mean,
Oh,
you
that
tell
would be
me what
good.
you want, what you're interested in, and we have
Hmm.
so many resources that we can talk about these things. That's why it's called Candid Discussions.
Right.
So if you have some topics like that, our producers reminding us, email us at candid with dm@gmail.com. Email us, tell us what you want to talk about, and we'll be sure to schedule those. Right now, we're doing a lot of scheduling. So if you let us know what some of your interests are, we will
We can,
schedule in
yes,
that area.
put it on the calendar, get it out there. Thank
Yes.
you.
So, Helen, I would love for you to email us and talk to us more about that because I think I would be interested in hearing more about your website and what's going on with that. So, please share it with us. Send that to that email, Candid with D and M, uh, Candid with what is it, D?
Yes, Belinda. Oh, Lord. Oh, here. Candid with D and M at gmail.com. There you go.
We've been at work for a lot of hours today.
with not enough coffee.
With not no coffee today. I didn't go to
You didn't
Starbucks.
have coffee today?
I had one cup at
Oh,
home, but you
that's
know,
what's wrong. You didn't have your
yeah.
Starbucks cup today, did you? You
I
see,
didn't
I
use my
had
Starbucks
mine.
cup today.
I had mine this morning.
That's good. I
Oh,
know. I
oh,
planned
Belinda's
on going, but
asking.
I was too busy.
Belinda's
But what?
asking. So email you with topics that we want to discuss. Yes, Belinda, please email us
Yes.
with topics you would like for us to hear discussed.
Yeah. And
Please do. We're
eventually,
looking for
hopefully,
that.
we'll be able to take live questions. Well, actually, we can see your questions and we can repeat your questions, but
Yeah,
it's something eventually we'll be able to expand a little more, you know, and have
yeah,
screeners that can help us screen out the questions. But I think it's good. We want to hear from you. We do.
yes.
And,
We
see
want to
where we're
hear
going to
from
go
you.
next.
And
So
Latanya's
next week we're
reminding
going
us
to
to
take,
like and share.
yes, next
She's
week we're going
reminding
to take
everybody.
Thanksgiving off. So the day after Thanksgiving we'll be off, you
Yes,
know, uh,
literally.
probably doing some shopping or something with the family. I don't know. I'm just happy I'll
Yeah.
be off 5 days and I'm going to relax during that time.
Yes,
And
and let me just say
yeah,
before we go off, if you do plan to be out in all the craziness of Black Friday, please be careful. Please be aware of your surroundings at all
yeah.
times.
Mhm.
Try to avoid if you can help it, to not go out by yourself. Go out with a group of people or one other person, but please, please be careful.
Yeah. And practice your standard precautions. I know that we all have different views on the vaccine. So I don't know if
Yeah.
everyone's been vaccinated or not. That really is not our issue. But we're
Right.
saying still be safe, wear your
Still be
mask.
safe.
This will be our
Um,
first time going out with everything and
yeah.
everybody. And you don't know. Hey, for real, people are really dying.
Yeah.
And
And
some people are
yeah.
living, but some people are dying,
Yeah.
and it's not over. So
It's not over.
let's practice our precautions when we go out,
Please.
especially if you're going to
And
be in
please,
these packed stores. It's a
yes,
different time.
please be reminded that the mask goes here.
Over
It
your
starts
nose,
here. So it
over
covers
your
up
nose,
over
and
your
below
nose
your
and
chin.
all of this. It doesn't start here, okay?
No, not at
Okay.
all.
So even if you have somebody, talking to you, you're having a conversation, you start up a friendly conversation with someone in the store that you don't know. If their mask drop a little bit, just kindly remind them, oh, just can you just pull your mask up just a little bit over your nose?
Or
Wear it
go like
properly.
this. Your nose.
Boop.
They'll understand.
Just go,
They'll be like, is
just
something
go
wrong with
boop,
my nose? No,
boop.
this is a side effect of our profession.
Right.
You have to walk around saying, "Put the mask over your nose. Put the mask over your nose."
Yeah.
So we're laughing, but this is a very serious thing.
It's
That
very
the mask
serious.
down here is not protecting you, and the mask down
Yeah.
here is not protecting you. It should cover
Right.
your mouth and your nose.
Yes.
And if you wear glasses, go like this. Like people that wear glasses, they're like this, and their glasses are here, like that's protection. It's not protection. You
It's not
know,
protection, no.
put your mask on first, pinch it, and then put your glasses on,
And
and
put your
it'll work.
glasses
It
on
won't
top
clog
of
your
it.
glasses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can
It
you
won't
believe we're
fog
talking
up
about
your
this, D?
glasses. Huh?
Can you believe we're
What
talking
you
about
say?
this?
I can believe it.
Oh,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, I can
that's
believe
funny.
it. I wish
Helen, I'll share that with my daughter because she plans on going to Korea. I was talking earlier. She's actually learning the language right now. But I'll share that joke with her. Or it was not a
yeah.
joke. You said it's for real. So I'll share that with
Oh,
her.
oh, Latanya, get ready for Fayette Latrice, a life worth living, loving, and forgiving.
Yes.
Chucks and Pearls Crew. Read the book you purchased and be ready. Yes, I finally got a chance to start reading it. I got to like the middle of it, and boy, 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 I can't wait to
It's
have that
good.
conversation
Yes.
with Fayette. Yeah, it's
Yes.
good. So
Let's
yeah,
do
in
it in December,
between
D. Let's get around in December. Like
Oh
I
yeah,
know
we
we
have to
have
get her on
the third
sometime this
book
month.
and we have the 10th booked, but then
Mhm.
I know there's a couple of people pending. We have someone named Giselle Martinez. She's a licensed
Yes,
social
Giselle.
worker, and she'll be coming
Mhm.
on talking about some social concerns, and it's going to be really good hearing from her perspective and what she's doing in the
Yes.
community. And so we're looking forward to that. We also have
Mhm.
on the 10th we have Dr. Marlon Gale coming
Gail.
on. He's going to be coming from. He's a very
Mhm.
inspirational, dynamic young man. If you know young
Mhm.
people, please invite them on to that particular show on the 10th. You don't want to miss it.
Yes.
Because he's so inspirational. He's so excited, and it's contagious. His excitement is contagious. So
Mhm.
try
Mhm.
if you have some young men, young ladies that you feel like they could benefit from an inspirational interview, they will not walk away uninspired. In fact, they'll
Yeah, I would
probably be
try
like,
to.
"How can I get in touch with him?" So bring your sons, your grandchildren, your
Yes.
cousins, whoever you could bring, that this guy, he's amazing, just the things he's accomplished when you look at his
Mhm.
beginnings, because all the
Mhm.
odds were stacked against him. He surpassed all
Mhm.
those odds. And actually I call him I still call him brother Marlon or brother Gal, but he's actually Dr. Gal now. And
Wow.
he's just accomplished a lot at a young age. But a
Mhm.
lot of people have accomplished things like that, but they didn't have all the obstacles that he had. And so that's why
Right.
he's coming on. He's going to talk to us about that. And
That's gonna be
it's
good.
going to be good. It's going to be very inspirational. So get whoever you could get to log on that you think can really benefit from some good,
Glean.
exciting
Yes.
inspiration. Do it. Don't let them miss it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Remember,
That's a
we're
show
on
you want to tune into.
Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube. They can watch us from different platforms. It doesn't have to be
Yes.
it doesn't have to be just here. So what are the platforms, D? I can't remember them all.
Twitter. You have Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I
we're
think
on
that's it. Yeah, that
Instagram.
was
Yeah.
4 of them. Yeah. Yeah. So we're still working
Marjorie,
on
is there
doing the
more?
live. Huh?
I want to invite our producer in, one of our producers. Marjorie, bring yourself into the conversation and let us know all the platforms we're on.
There she is. Hey, Marjorie.
We can't
Hello,
hear you.
everyone. So we are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube for now.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
Latanya. That's our social media manager.
Thank
So,
you, Marjorie.
and she does a wonderful job. So,
Yes.
um, we're just excited about everything that we have up and coming.
Yes.
Yeah,
So, so with that being
yeah.
said, Helen, go ahead and email us. I'm looking forward to having the discussion with you. So I would like to hear more about what you're working on. D and
Oh,
myself
that's
would
what I
like
was
to.
trying to say.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say, Shell. We're still working on doing the live taping.
Uh, aw, Belinda sent you a message.
And he said, "Oh, that was on the right. Look like Mama D. Oh, that one on the right looked like Mama D. Oh." She said her husband said I look like my mom.
Aw.
Tell him thank you. That's a compliment. Yeah, so Shell, she's reading somebody's comment.
Are we still
Shell,
live?
that's your yeah. Yeah, we are.
As I'm scratching my hair.
It's okay. You can scratch your hair.
All right.
Listen, so we're still working on doing the live taping, right?
Yes. You
Just
guys
we're
talk
just
to
building the
us. Give us
audience.
some feedback on
Yeah.
where where we should do our live taping at. You know, D is going to Jamaica. It would have been nice to do it in Jamaica.
No. Yeah, that's gonna be a no.
That's funny. But anyway.
Yeah,
So
that was
anyway,
candid.
give us some feedback and some live taping ideas because we're going into the winter rainy months and we don't want to wait. We
Right.
want to do it soon. It'll be
Yeah.
nice, like some kind of inside venue would be nice, but kind of
Yeah.
elegant, the right,
Yeah. And then let us know
have
if
a
you would
nice
like to be
out
a part
there.
of the audience. You have to come and be a part of the audience, especially those of you who have been watching and following and
Yeah,
supporting. We want to invite you to come and be a part of the audience, the live
it'd be
audience.
nice.
It's going
So
to be
give us
some
some
good stuff.
ideas and see what
Yeah.
we come up with.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, D, I think we went over our hour.
Yeah. We went a little over an hour. That's okay. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
It was
I love
guided.
it.
That's
All
okay.
right. Well, thank you all for your wonderful feedback and being with us tonight on a
Thank you.
Friday
Thank you.
night.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
Um,
So